Welcome back to my channel, Lynn's Corner, your inspirational tea. Today I want to do part 2 of how to love yourself. We talked about, on part 1, I talked about small things that you do that show that there's a lack of self-love. I talked about not having firm boundaries. I talked about letting small things slide, which we should not do. So today I'm going to talk about the big things that we do, because remember, you have to identify what it is that you're doing. You have to identify what it is that you're doing that is showing that you do not love yourself, so that you can work on those areas and fix them. So yesterday we talked about the small things. Today we're going to talk about the big things. Big thing number 1 is overindulging in things. And that can be overindulging in a lot of things, but overindulging in things that you know are harmful to either your mind, your body, or your soul. Either one of the 3 of those things. Overindulging in food, overindulging in substances, be it drugs, be it alcohol, overindulging in sex, anything that can be detrimental or damaging to your mind, your body, or your soul. People only talk about things that are detrimental to your body. They don't really talk about things that are detrimental to your mind and your soul. They kind of leave that out. But your mind and your soul are very, 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 very powerful. And those 2 things need to be aligned. They need to be free and clear of any kind of negativity in order for you to function at your optimal state. So anything that you're doing, staying in an abusive relationship, allowing yourself to get cursed out, allowing yourself to be treated any kind of way. Now, you know what any kind of way is for you. Everybody has their own threshold. Everybody has their own deal breakers. So whatever it is for you, if you are allowing those things to happen, you need to ask yourself why. Why am I letting this happen? Why am I eating like this? Why am I drinking like this? Why am I smoking like this? Why am I overindulging and being promiscuous sexually? Why? Why am I watching all of this violent TV? How are those things benefiting my mind, my body, or my soul? Sit down and journal. What are the reasons that I'm doing these things? What is my mindset when I overeat? How do I feel after I overeat? What is my mindset when I drink too much? How do I feel after I drink too much? Sit down and journal these things. Once you identify the things that you're doing that question your self-love, journal and ask yourself, why am I doing these things? Get to the bottom of it. A lot of people say self-love is, I'm going to go out and get my hair done. That's self-love. I'm going to get my nails done. That's self-love. I'm going to get my toes done. That's self-love. Self-love / self-care. That's on a surface level. That's very surface type of self-care and self-love. We're talking about going deep, getting to the root of the issue, the root of the problem. Once you can identify why you're doing these things, then you need to deal with the why. Once you identify why, now you have to deal with why. Now you can deal with why in many ways. You can journal. You can see a therapist, right? You can go to your church or whatever type of worship that you do. Okay? You can do any of those things. But once you identify the whys that you're doing any of these things, even the things that we talked about on part one, lack of boundaries, letting small things go, once you identify, then that's when you need to go into action to fix the why, to clear out that why. Like I said, you can either go to therapy, you can journal, you can go to your place of worship, even if your place of worship is at home, if you're a spiritual person. Some people have relationships with their ancestors. However you choose to get through and work through those whys, that's on you. I'm not telling you which thing to do. But getting through the whys and clearing out the whys and reversing those things will help you start doing the things that allow you to start loving yourself more. Putting up boundaries and sticking with your boundaries, that is a strategy that you can use to love yourself. Not overindulging in drinks. If you want to go out for drinks, that's fine. Nobody has anything against that. Do what you want to do. However, set a limit before you leave the house. I know I'm not going to drink any more than 2 drinks tonight. Whatever your personal limit is, set that limit and stick with it. That goes along with the boundaries. Same kind of thing. That's creating a boundary for yourself. Do that. Okay? Same with food. Okay, I'm going to have 1 hot dog instead of 2. Or 2 hot dogs instead of 3. You see what I'm saying? 1 hamburger instead of 2. Just set a clear boundary for yourself. These are some things that you can start doing to show that you have self-love. But like I said, you got to get to the root, the deep root of why it is that you're doing the things that you do that clearly show that your self-love is low. Part 1, I talked about checking your self-love gauge. Check it. And you may have to do this all day long, especially if you're a person who was a people pleaser. I talked about that in part 1, being a people pleaser. You may have to check yourself all day long. But as soon as you see that you're going into the direction of something that is not going to be beneficial for you in the self-love department, you can reverse that thing. It's not a problem. And just because you've been doing something all your life doesn't mean that you can't change it. Because every day is a new day to start anew. And it's not going to be overnight. You didn't get this way overnight. Those who struggle with self-love, like I used to struggle terribly. Childhood traumas for me was one of the reasons that I had self-esteem and self-love issues. So, you're not going to get through these things overnight. But they can be worked on and they can be reversed. You can have a healthy self-esteem. You can love yourself. All of these things can definitely happen. When we did our first Lynn's Corner, I did an affirmation. You can do affirmations daily. You can saturate your mind with positive videos, positive books on tape. These are just many things that you can do. I know that's what I did. I started really, really, really getting active in my spirituality. Not religion, but my spirituality. And I started looking at the things within myself, looking at things that happened in my childhood that caused me to doubt myself, caused me to not love myself, to cause me to engage in behaviors that clearly displayed lack of self-love. You can do the same. You can do the same thing. And you'll see positive results. Don't beat yourself up. It's going to take time. If you fall down, get back up. You might stay down 2 days. Get back up on that third day. As long as you get back up. Okay? Hopefully this helped someone today. Hopefully this message, you can take this tea and use it from this day forward so that you can have a better concept of yourself and you can have more love for yourself. Have a great day. See you soon.